Hi, we are third year Chemical Engineering student from Universiti Teknologi Malaysia. Today, we'll be introducing you to some chemical engineering background and the fundamentals of humidification with its applications. Have you guys ever wondered what a chemical engineer does? Now, let me bring you some figures about chemical engineering. It's actually a branch of engineering that deals with chemical production and the manufactures of products through chemical processes. This includes designing equipment, systems and processes to refine raw material by mixing, compounding and processing chemicals to make valuable products. In order to become a qualified chemical engineer, we have to learn some specific knowledge. For your information, basically, we'll use the principles of physics, mathematics, chemistry and biology to develop more specialized knowledge in the university. Some of this knowledge are transport and separation process, energy balance and mass balance in a chemical process, chemical reaction engineering, pollution control engineering, and occupational safety and health. Now, we will see what chemical engineers can do with this knowledge. As a chemical engineer, we should be able to develop new and improved chemical manufacturing process or plants in order to produce new products or improve the efficiency of process. Next, chemicals engineers also evaluate equipment and processes to ensure it is compliant with safety and environmental regulations. Last but not least, with the knowledge of occupational safety and health and pollution control engineering, we will be able to design and perform the engineering duties in prevention, control, and remediation of environmental hazards. Chemicals engineer can work in many fields. For example, food and consumer goods, oil and petroleum, pharmaceutical and specialty chemicals, environmental engineer which related to pollution control and water treatment.
Next, we are going to talk about four main components of the cooling tower. First, drift eliminator, which is located at the top of the tower, cooling tower nozzles, air inlet lowers, and also cooling tower packing. Drift eliminator, it helps avoid escaping of water droplets and vapors into the atmosphere, also to ensure that the tower operates effectively by maintaining the drift rate at a minimum level and also minimize the occurrence of pressure drop within a tower. Next, cooling tower nozzles. It is to enable and support in distributing the hot water uniformly inside the tower. It looks something like this. Next, air inlet louvers. It inhibits entry of sunlight at the basin, which prevents algae growth and also thereby decreasing the chemical costs with appropriate maintenance. It also acts as a barrier for noise, water splash out and debris while also improving the airflow of the cooling tower. Lastly, the cooling tower packing. It helps to ensure maximum contact surface and also maximum contact time between air and water to enable cooling. That's all for the components of cooling tower.
Moving on, let's know about the humidification. It is the transfer of water from liquid phase into a gaseous mixture of air and water vapor and is the process of elevating the level of water vapor present in the atmosphere. This aspect of climate control is crucial to many industries as elevated levels affect the outcome of numerous processes positively. While dehumidification is when water vapor is transferred from vapor to liquid phase. Humidification process is the process whereby the moisture or water vapor or humidity is added to the air without changing the dry bulb temperature, which is the temperature of air measured by a thermometer freely exposed to the air but shielded from radiation and moisture. While wet bulb temperature is the lowest temperature that can be reached under current ambient condition by the evaporation of water. In a psychrometric chart, the humidification process is represented through a straight vertical line starting from the initial value of relative humidity, extending upward and ending at the final value of the relative humidity. In reality, a pure humidification process is impossible as it is usually accompanied by heating or cooling of the air. During the cooling and humidification process, the dry bulk of the air reduces, its wet bulk and the dew point temperature increases, while its moisture content and relative humidity also increases. The sensible heat of the air reduces, the latent heat of the air increases, resulting in the overall increase in the enthalpy of the air. The process is represented by an angular line on the psychometric chart, starting from the given value of the dry bulk temperature and the relative humidity, and extending upward toward left. During heating and humidification process, the dry bulk, wet bulk, and dew point temperature of the air increases along with its relative humidity. The process is represented on the psychometric chart by an angular line that starts from the given value of the dry bulk temperature and extends upward towards right.
Hi guys, my name is Yirthick and now I'm going to be presenting the applications of humidification in real life and in industries. Firstly, let's discuss humidification in the food and beverage sectors. The quality of the things we allow into our body is key for our overall health. Humidification plays a huge role in food production because the water content of food determines its appearance, taste, shelf life and ultimately its weight. Correctly managing the air humidity inside a food and beverage production facility will not only lead to optimizing production processes but also maintaining a hygienic and safe working environment. Humidification. The humidity has to be actively regulated at food industries to avoid formation of condensate, which leads to contamination of food and corrosion of equipment. Products such as cheese and meat are hygroscopic, meaning that their moisture content depends on the ambient humidity. Humidities which are too low will result in an unwanted loss in weight and drying of the products. At the same time, dehumidification is also very important. The processing of moisture-releasing products such as fruit and vegetables increases the humidity in the F&B production facilities. Thus, dehumidification is vital to maintain effective and professionally regulated humidity levels in these facilities to ensure good hygiene is present during food processing. Next, the application of humidification is also very common in industries and commercial manufacturing. Optimal humidity control can also improve productivity in many industrial and commercial manufacturing processes. Commercial industries such as paper, packaging, printing, textiles, electronics and explosive companies are some of the many uses of humidification in these industries. But how do all these industries manage to keep the humidity levels at their workplace controlled and safe? This is done through the utilization of industrial humidification systems. With the rapid advancement of technology, it is crucial to have an effective humidification system in industry because it can reduce the static electricity buildup. This occurs when the humidity levels are too low, which then produces friction and leads to spark or fire ignitions. Besides, industrial humidification systems in these industries can also help in preserving inventory, equipment and buildings. Lastly, employing a good humidification system creates a safe and healthy environment for workforce and customers as humidification systems can eliminate airborne pathogens through oxidation, thus sanitizing the air. Last but not least, let's discuss about humidification in healthcare. Headaches, sore eyes and throat, nasal stuffiness, lethargy, skin complaints and an increase in airborne viral transmissions are all effects of dry atmosphere. Dry air will suck moisture from all possible sources in the room including mucous membranes in the nose and throat which are designed to protect us from infection. Moisture will also be drawn from any body tissue exposed during operations. Besides, the humidity levels in maternity and obstetric departments should also always be maintained as babies are particularly sensitive to a dry atmosphere. Also, low relative humidity can severely exacerbate the condition of patients with respiratory problems. Thus, hospitals and other healthcare environments rely heavily on steam as it ensures that the moisture being introduced is 100% safe and also due to the fact that there is often a ready supply of steam being used for sterilizing purposes. Lastly, humidifier therapy is also another famous solution in dealing with diseases. Humidifiers are used to add moisture to the air to prevent dryness that can cause irritation in many parts of the body. There are various types of humidifiers such as central humidifiers, evaporators, and impeller humidifiers. These equipment can help relieve problems such as nose irritation, sore throats, sinuses, and dry skin.